Paul requested $10,000 from us for a venture, but declined to reveal any specifics about it. When I refused, he labeled me selfish, and my spouse, Clint, left our home to show me the importance of family values. Later, I discovered he was actually purchasing a holiday home for his daughters. My father-in-law, Paul, has effectively destroyed our marriage. Clint and I have been wed for 6 years, and we share a delightful young boy. Clint is a remarkably diligent individual, and I respect his commitment to his career and our household. We both earn solid salaries, though we manage our money in distinct ways. I handle the home loan payments and ensure all utility bills, such as power, water, and broadband, are settled. Clint, on the other hand, covers our child's costs, including tuition, outfits, and whatever else he requires. He also manages our vehicle financing and, additionally, transfers funds to his mom and dad each month. Clint's folks are no longer working, yet they lack any retirement funds to fall back on. As their firstborn, he feels obligated, especially since they have 2 girls as well. Sadly, his parents never achieved much financial security, and over time, any resources they had went toward medical expenses and funding their daughters' marriages. Now they're without reserves, which is why Clint has taken on their support. He ensures they have sufficient for everyday essentials, food shopping, and health appointments when needed. His siblings, however, offer no monetary assistance whatsoever. They instead exploit their parents by using them as unpaid childcare, dropping off their kids for extended periods without any compensation. Regardless, it's invariably Clint who rises to the occasion, guaranteeing his parents' well-being while his sisters reap the rewards of their parents' kindness without reciprocating. I contribute my fair share to assisting Clint with his family. Each weekend, I make it a priority to drop by, seeing if anything is required and enjoying their company. I consistently replenish their pantry with fresh produce so they never fret about shortages. I also assist my mother-in-law with her backyard plot, which she cherishes immensely. It's a source of joy for her, and I aim to help maintain its charm and upkeep. More than just addressing practical needs, I strive to allow my mother-in-law moments of leisure and indulgence. Once a month, I treat her to a wellness outing complete with a rub-down, giving her a chance to relax and feel special. I think she merits it after decades of dedication to her loved ones. Among all their offspring, Clint and I have truly gone above and beyond for his parents. Our aid isn't limited to dollars. We work to simplify their routines and enhance their comfort. Yet in spite of our contributions, Clint's mom and dad appear to favor only his sisters. No matter our efforts, they always put their girls first. They even spend the funds Clint provides on presents for the other grandkids, scarcely recognizing our boy. This disparity shines brightest during holidays. They splurge on lavish items for their daughter's children, but show little thought for our son. One holiday season, his only gift from them was a simple pair of hosiery. Clint and I have observed this pattern for years, yet we remain silent to avoid family conflict. We prefer harmony over confrontation, though it stings that our dedication is overlooked while his sisters, who barely lift a finger, receive preference. Then last year, a shift occurred with my father-in-law. He began forming bonds with fellow retirees in the area. Each time we met, he'd enthusiastically share what they were imparting. He mentioned lessons in wealth growth and even motivation to launch his own enterprise. He appeared genuinely excited, and I honestly viewed it positively. I supported the notion, thinking a personal endeavor would occupy him productively and boost his spirits. I believed it could offer direction and ward off boredom in his post-work years. I had no idea of the trouble ahead. Lately, my father-in-law approached Clint and me with a grave plea, more accurately, an ultimatum. He claimed he'd finalized his enterprise concept and required substantial capital to launch it. He expected our unwavering backing to realize his dream. Of course, I inquired about the nature of this venture, but he evaded the query. He insisted on secrecy to prevent idea theft. This raised immediate red flags for me. If his plan was solid, why withhold even a basic overview? Then came the shocker. He demanded $10,000 from us. Clint and I were stunned. This wasn't a minor request, it was enormous. Clint attempted to note that we lacked such liquid funds, but my father-in-law waved it off, branding him tight-fisted. He grew agitated and passionate, demanding blind faith. "Don't you believe in me? I'm your dad. Would I seek this if I weren't certain? Rely on me, hand over the cash, and I'll return it tripled," he vowed boldly. Clint seemed taken aback but nodded tentatively as though pondering it seriously. I, however, was in shock. The scenario reeked of deception. My father-in-law had been out of work for ages, and even prior, he'd never maintained steady employment. Suddenly, a genius scheme emerges, details withheld with outrageous profit promises. It screamed scam. I explained that our nest egg was a joint effort, and given Clint's many obligations, I contributed the majority. For such a hefty investment, we required guarantees. If he wouldn't disclose the plan, fine, but we'd need legal documents for repayment security. Instantly, both Clint and his dad appeared mortified. My father-in-law flushed with rage and began shouting. He was appalled I'd suggest contracts for a family loan. He argued trust should suffice, and paperwork was a slap in the face. Shockingly, Clint aligned with him. He stated full confidence in his father, and since we could spare $10,000, it wasn't worth battling over. I was floored. Sure, we're comfortable, but that doesn't justify recklessly gifting large sums without safeguards. I countered that our funds weren't solely his to dispense. Those resources were for our tomorrow and, crucially, our child's tomorrow. We earned them together. He couldn't unilaterally decide. If aiding his dad mattered, we'd discuss, but blind handouts, not my style. Clint took deep offense. He escalated, claiming I impugned his father's integrity, implying theft. I stayed composed, clarifying I never accused anyone. I was merely prudent. Lending big to anyone demands repayment proof. I highlighted realities. My father-in-law had never reimbursed prior aids and now, abruptly, a startup. What evidence of viability? Any assurance against total loss? Yet logic fell on deaf ears. They persisted, labeling me suspicious and urging familial faith. I was portrayed as irrational for seeking caution. Then escalation worsened. My father-in-law erupted in fury. He bellowed that in his era, wives weren't involved in finances, and he questioned my intrusion. He deemed it a male matter, unfit for my input. He then advised Clint to rein me in, preventing my meddling, as if I were a wild animal needing taming. That instant clarified this transcended funds, it was about dignity, and I received none. His remarks were profoundly degrading, not participate. As though I required approval, he sought our aid yet demeaned me for my gender. I confronted him directly. I noted he was the petitioner yet dared insult me for being female. I declared no funds forthcoming. If Clint wished to assist, he'd source it independently. Our reserves were mutual. Unauthorized withdrawals were off limits. My statement ignited him. He raged, hurling blame as if I'd harmed him. Clint mirrored the ire, his expression strained with wrath. But rather than prolong, he soothed his father, requesting space and promising a spousal discussion. This somewhat appeased my father-in-law, who eventually exited fuming. But post-departure, Clint and I unleashed our fiercest clash. He charged me with rudeness, iciness, and cruelty for denying his dad. He believed I'd humiliated and dishonored him via outright rejection. I viewed it oppositely. I asserted his father exploited us, demanding earnings sans details, insulting upon resistance. How trust without transparency? I feel Clint's internal conflict, yet isolated. He vilifies me for resisting manipulation, ignoring my view. That wounds deepest. So, Reddit community? Update 1, I know instinctively my father-in-law merits no blind faith, and I'm glad I heeded gut feelings and held firm. Had it been Clint's call, the $10,000 would be gone unquestioned. Truthfully, Clint is utterly controlled by his parents. He complies instantly to any demand, regardless of fairness. His dad expertly guilts him via duty, remorse, and allegiance, targeting Clint for funds. He never approaches his daughters, knowing they'd refuse. They evade provider roles, resisting manipulation unlike Clint, the soft mark. Paul counts on Clint's reliability, burdening us. That's why I intervened. Unchecked, the pattern persists eternally. Update 2, recently, Clint and I quarrel incessantly. Home atmosphere is suffocating, fueled by his father's non-stop harassment. Daily, Clint endures calls and texts pushing for the cash. Worse, his mom and sisters joined, ignoring the sum's magnitude and our deliberation rights. They drill into Clint his eldest son duty to fund the venture, unquestioned. They've targeted me too, labeling me avaricious and opportunistic, as if hoarding when safeguarding our stability. They accuse me of fracturing family bonds by rejecting the absurd ask. This erodes Clint gradually. Guilt, coercion, brainwashing, he's succumbing, viewing them as correct, me unjust. It's like his family steals him, my reasoning fails against their tug. Clint pushes for the payout as a singular investment, indifferent to recovery or loss. He craves resolution and paternal joy. I vehemently oppose. We're no endless resource for them. I'm exhausted by constant expectations. They extract relentlessly. Refusal brands us antagonists. I acted preemptively. I removed my savings portion from our shared account. Not impulsively, I dominated contributions, building security for us, our child, crises, future. I wouldn't permit drainage as their ATM. Left intact, pressure would break Clint. He'd yield secretly, then demands would escalate. My funds are now protected. If Clint insists on giving, he must self-fund, preserving my efforts. Update 3 days later, predictably, Clint attempted secret $10,000 withdrawal but found my share gone. He exploded, screaming his family proved right about me. As household leader, he claimed sole financial authority. I overstepped. Arguments intensified daily. In retribution, Clint vacated, packing and departing to instruct me on familial principles. It devastated like a betrayal. This partner I'd built with, loved, backed, sacrificed for, chose parents over wife, who'd outdone sisters in support, over money. Heart shattered, years treating them as kin, aiding monetarily, emotionally, practically. Punished for protecting against likely permanent loss. Reflection clarifies, yielding felt wrong. Despite onslaught, I'm correct. Defending self and child's prospects. If Clint dissolves family over this, believing abandonment apt, his decision. I won't yield to coercion. Groundholding may cost him, fine. I merit equal valuing partnership. Update 4, 2 months post last post. Inquiries noted. Husband remains at parents, no reconciliation attempts. He's entrenched there, zero marital effort. Positively, he parents our son, visiting bi-daily, which I value. Fatherhood endures. Maritally, silence. No us discussions, no relationship talk, nothing. Initial fury lingers, he clings to resentment, denying my valid stance. Yesterday, unexpected call. Weak sans contact, I feared son emergency during his custody. Heart pounding, I answered. His distress wasn't aimed at me. He revealed the $10,000's true purpose post-discovery. No venture existed. Sisters badgered Paul for a getaway property. Deemed investment for offspring gatherings memories. They refused contributions, deeming it Paul's duty. He, instead of declining, targeted us. Clint confessed, payout would have sparked more asks. $10,000 starter, excuses would have amassed for the house. Emotions swirled, rage, irritation, vindication, suspicions confirmed. Not paranoid, not miserly, sole perceiver of deceit initially. Now Clint sees, voice tense, remorseful first time, apologized unexpectedly after turmoil. Tone shifted, no defensiveness, pure regret. Admitted pre-truth partial giving, believing support legitimate, but deceived. Confrontation shook him. Betrayed, embarrassed, revolted by exploitation. Conceded my correctness, spotting signs, safeguarding deserving ear. Hesitant, aware damage, hopeful normalcy. Post-realization, cohabiting liars intolerable. Betrayal crushed, ashamed blind faith permitting anti-me pivot. House with deceivers, Meredreckers unbearable. Craves home return. For me complex, inhaled deeply, absorbing. Months prior I'd crave this acknowledgement, truth vision. Now, no expected ease. Anger, pain, skepticism dominated. Voiced pent-up, departure shattered trust, beyond leaving. Dismissing worries, tolerating insults, villainizing for anti-exploitation. Outsider in union, contributions, opinions worthless. Post-months prioritizing them, enduring gold digger slurs amid my load-bearing, sudden return. Unsettling, not primed for instant pardon. Choice made an exit, mine now. Before re-entry, need processing, recovery, salvage worth assessment. Update 5, resolution hard one. Months introspection, counseling, draining, Clint talks led here. Marriage irreparable. Initial return request, withheld agreement. Wounds from siding, insults, abandonment for point fresh. Hope flickered, repair. 2 months trial, counseling. Sessions bearing soul, elucidating hurt depth. Blind loyalty, disregard shattered faith. Humiliating labels despite my burdens. Forward required change. Family financial cutoff. No safety net, boundaries. Low contact, distance, not severance. Clint balked. Despite lies, exploitation, near destruction, insisted eldest duty unbreakable, even post-abuse. Disrespect. Marital peril, breaking point. Cycle eternal, forgiveness today. Recurrence tomorrow. Family unapologetic for venom, reject such existence. Voice silenced by demands, sacrifice security for non-contributors, fight for value, respect, hearing, finished, self-prioritizing, lawyer consulted. Divorce filing, Clint chose, I choose, reject second place, deserve superior, self first now.